In the world of coin collecting, there are treasures hidden in plain sight, coins that look ordinary but carry unimaginable value. One such legend is the rare bicentennial Washington quarter and the mysterious 1968 quarter dollar, both celebrated pieces in American numismatic history. These coins, minted during a period of national pride and transformation, now command astonishing prices among collectors. Some examples of these quarters, depending on mint mark, strike error, and condition, have fetched thousands and even millions of dollars in private auctions. The ordinary change in your pocket might just hold a small piece of American history and a ticket to fortune. The bicentennial quarter, issued in 1976 to celebrate America's 200th year of independence, is unlike any other quarter ever made. It features the classic bust of George Washington on the front, but its reverse design tells a different story. A colonial drummer standing proudly, symbolizing freedom and revolution, with a torch of victory shining above. This unique design replaced the traditional eagle for just 2 years, making it a collector's dream. But what truly makes certain bicentennial quarters valuable are rare variations. Coins struck in 40% silver, minting errors, or proof conditions that never entered circulation. While millions were produced for circulation, some special 40% silver bicentennial quarters were struck for collectors, and those in perfect mirror finish proof condition are worth far more than face value. A flawless specimen with a deep cameo effect, crisp details, and no scratches can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars today. But when a rare minting error, such as a double strike, off-center design, or a transitional metal mix, appears on one of these coins, its price can skyrocket beyond imagination, touching the realm of 5 to 6 figures. Now let's turn our attention to the 1968 Washington quarter, a coin that doesn't seem rare at first glance but hides extraordinary stories. Minted in Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco, these quarters marked the early transition from silver to a copper-nickel composition after 1964. But here's where the mystery begins. A few 1968 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets meant for earlier issues. These silver-based error coins are incredibly scarce and can be worth tens of thousands of dollars if authenticated. A regular 1968 quarter might buy you a soda, but a silver 1968 error coin could buy you a car, or even a house. Collectors across the world hunt for proof 1968's quarters, minted in San Francisco with a perfect polished shine. These proof coins were never intended for circulation, but a handful mysteriously made their way into the public's hands, creating immense buzz in the coin community. If you ever come across a 1968's quarter with mirror-like surfaces and razor-sharp detail, don't spend it. You may be holding a piece worth a lifetime's savings. The difference between an ordinary coin and a priceless one often lies in tiny letters, a mint mark, or a faint error invisible to the casual eye. The true magic of these coins lies in their emotional and historical weight. The bicentennial quarter celebrates America's freedom, courage, and unity, a piece of metal that carries the soul of 1776 within it. The 1968 quarter, on the other hand, represents transition, from silver to modern alloys, from the post-war era to a new age of American confidence. Together, they symbolize 2 turning points in American coinage and history, and this combination of beauty, rarity, and symbolism is what drives collectors wild. Today, auction houses and private collectors pay staggering amounts for rare quarters. A single pristine bicentennial silver proof with a unique die crack has sold for over $200,000. Meanwhile, a 1968 silver transitional error quarter once reached over $150,000 in a private deal. These coins are not just pieces of change, they are historical artifacts, tiny time machines connecting us to the spirit of the nation's past. Each coin tells a story of craftsmanship, patriotism, and luck. So, before you hand over your next quarter at a store counter, take a closer look. Examine the date, the shine, and even the edge. You might be holding a treasure worth more than gold. These coins may seem small, but their value, both sentimental and financial, is immense. The next time you spot a bicentennial quarter or a 1968 piece, remember this: fortunes have been made from coins just like these. In the world of numismatics, miracles do happen, and sometimes they jingle quietly in your pocket. There are coins that come and go, passing silently from hand to hand, and then there are coins that tell a story of power, pride, and fortune. The rare bicentennial Washington quarter, especially those preserved or found in 1978 condition, has become one of the most talked about treasures among collectors. Many people don't realize that these coins, minted to celebrate 200 years of American independence, are hiding massive value in plain sight. While they might look like ordinary pocket change, a few rare examples have been valued at tens of thousands, even millions, because of their perfect condition, minting errors, and metallic composition. When the United States Mint created the Bicentennial Series in 1976, it wasn't just making coins, it was minting history. The familiar face of George Washington remained on the obverse, but the reverse was completely transformed. Gone was the eagle. In its place stood a proud colonial drummer, symbolizing the heartbeat of the American Revolution. With a torch of victory above him and 13 stars surrounding the design, this quarter became a patriotic masterpiece. Millions were made for circulation, but not all coins were created equal. Some rare versions, struck in 40% silver or minted in special sets, would later become the crown jewels of American coinage. Now here's where things get fascinating. Though the bicentennial quarter officially carries the dual date, 1776 to 1976, many were still in circulation and preserved through 1978 and beyond in mint state condition. Collectors often refer to these high-grade examples as 1978 condition bicentennial quarters, coins that show no signs of wear, sharp design edges, and brilliant luster. These pieces, especially if graded MS68 or higher, can sell for eye-watering amounts at auctions. A flawless proof bicentennial quarter with deep cameo contrast has already sold for several $1,000s, and unique minting varieties have crossed the $50,000 mark. The most valuable specimens are those with striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, or coins mistakenly struck on different metal planchets. Imagine holding a quarter that was accidentally struck on a silver planchet meant for a dollar coin. It looks ordinary, but its composition makes it one in a million. These rare minting errors from the bicentennial series have set the coin world ablaze, as collectors are willing to pay enormous sums for just a single piece. What's even more incredible is that many of these coins were discovered by everyday people, tucked in old jars, inherited collections, or forgotten drawers. Even beyond their market price, these coins have a deep emotional and historical meaning. They represent the American spirit, courage, struggle, and the pride of freedom. When you hold a bicentennial quarter, you're not just holding a coin, you're touching a small piece of the 1776 dream, a reminder of revolution, independence, and unity. Every tiny detail on the coin, from the drummer's stick to the torch flame, speaks of the fire that shaped a nation. This emotional connection, combined with rarity, has made the bicentennial quarter one of the most beloved collectibles ever struck. Today in the collector's market, these coins command staggering prices. A bicentennial quarter in pristine 1978 condition, with no scratches or dullness, can easily sell for thousands. But the real fortune lies in those with silver composition or minting flaws, coins that have been auctioned for $200,000 or more. One particular specimen, with a double die obverse and mirror-proof finish, stunned collectors when it was valued near $1 million. These numbers sound unbelievable, but in the numismatic world, perfection and rarity always come with a price that defies imagination. What makes this story even more thrilling is the possibility that such a coin could still be out there, waiting to be found. There are reports of people finding near-perfect bicentennial quarters in circulation, hidden among ordinary change. It's a reminder that fortune doesn't always come in gold. Sometimes, it jingles softly in your pocket. If you find one that gleams brighter than the rest, check for mint marks, unusual details, or errors, because that could be your lucky key to wealth. So, before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look at the date 1776 to 1976, and the shine of the coin. That small, unassuming bicentennial quarter might just be worth a small fortune. In the world of coins, miracles don't happen once. They happen every time someone discovers that a simple piece of change has the power to change their life forever. The most valuable bicentennial quarters in 1978 condition prove one thing. History and luck can meet in the palm of your hand, and sometimes that tiny round metal can turn you into a millionaire overnight. In the mysterious world of rare coins, some treasures hide behind ordinary faces, silent, shining, and waiting to change someone's life forever. One such legend is the bicentennial Washington quarter, especially those preserved in 1979 D condition. Though officially struck in 1976 to celebrate America's 200th year of independence, many of these coins remained in untouched mint state condition long after, and by 1979, the finest survivors had become collector's gold. What makes these quarters so astonishing is not just their history, but their unexpected value. Some have fetched enormous sums, even touching hundreds of thousands of dollars, all because of rarity, errors, and perfection in detail. When the United States Mint launched the Bicentennial series, it was more than just another coin release. It was a national celebration engraved in metal. The front of the coin still carried the noble image of George Washington, a symbol of leadership and freedom. But the reverse side told a powerful new story, the image of a colonial drummer with a torch of victory above him, surrounded by 13 stars representing the original American colonies. This bold new design made the bicentennial quarter instantly iconic. Every stroke, every curve of that drummer's image represented America's proud heartbeat, freedom, unity, and resilience. Now here's where the story gets even more interesting. The 1979 D bicentennial quarters are coins that have survived in exceptional, almost flawless condition. The kind of coins that never entered circulation, staying crisp, sharp, and gleaming as if frozen in time. Collectors call these coins 1979 D condition, because they've been preserved since that era, often found in original rolls, proof sets, or special collector holdings. In high-grade conditions like MS-68 or MS-69, their value can soar from a few $100s to tens of thousands, depending on mint clarity, metal quality, and luster. But the real fortune lies in the error strikes and unusual varieties, and that's where collectors go wild. Some 1976 bicentennial quarters struck in Denver accidentally used leftover silver planchets or had double die obverse, making them one-of-a-kind treasures. Imagine a quarter that shows a double image on George Washington's face or the drummer's drum lines. Small minting accidents that now make the coin worth a small fortune. A few such bicentennial quarters have been confirmed with silver composition or die rotation errors, with auction values shooting past $200,000. That's the kind of magic coin collectors dream about. Beyond their value in dollars, these quarters carry deep historical emotion. Each coin feels like a time capsule from 1776, echoing the sound of drums and the spirit of freedom. The bicentennial quarter was not just currency, it was America's way of saying we remember. The 1979 D preserved examples are like shining monuments to that moment in time, untouched and radiant. When collectors hold one, they aren't just holding a piece of metal, they're holding history, patriotism, and the story of a nation that fought for liberty and unity. Even decades later, the demand for bicentennial quarters remains unstoppable. Auction houses continue to report jaw-dropping results for pristine examples. A perfectly struck 1979 D bicentennial quarter with strong luster and proof-like surfaces can command serious money. Some privately held specimens have sold quietly between collectors for life-changing amounts, their exact prices hidden in whispers. What began as an everyday coin has now become a symbol of rare fortune. A reminder that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest surprises. Many people don't realize that coins like these could still be hiding in plain sight, in drawers, boxes, or old jars of change. The thrill of finding one untouched bicentennial quarter, especially a Denver minted one in superb condition, is like discovering buried treasure. Collectors spend years chasing that perfect coin, one with perfect edges, glowing silver tone, and crisp details under magnification. And every year, someone finds one and realizes that fortune can shine from the most unexpected places, even from an old coin that once cost only 25 cents. So before you spend your next quarter or overlook that shiny old coin with the date 1776 to 1976, take a closer look. If it bears the small letter D, under "In God We Trust," and gleams with flawless brilliance, you could be staring at a rare treasure worth thousands, or maybe millions. The most valuable bicentennial quarters in 1979 D condition remind us that true wealth doesn't always glitter in gold. Sometimes, it hides quietly in silver and copper, carrying the echo of history and the promise of fortune in the palm of your hand. In the glittering world of rare coins, there are some that whisper their value quietly, hidden beneath decades of history. Among them, the bicentennial Washington quarter, especially those preserved in 1982 p condition, has become one of the most fascinating and valuable treasures in American coin collecting. Though these coins were originally struck in 1976 to honor the 200th anniversary of America's independence, some of them survived untouched in pristine form, discovered years later. Even in 1982, with a shine so perfect that collectors could not believe their eyes. These rare pieces, especially those bearing the Philadelphia P mark, have proven that even an ordinary coin can become a millionaire's prize when preserved in flawless condition. The bicentennial quarter was unlike any other American coin. It celebrated the spirit of 1776, carrying George Washington's timeless portrait on one side and a beautifully detailed colonial drummer on the other. That drummer, holding the sticks of freedom, became a symbol of unity and courage for generations. But what truly made this coin legendary was the dual date 1776 to 1976, proudly displayed to mark 2 centuries of independence. When these coins were first minted, nobody imagined that a few special examples, especially those later recognized as 1982 p mint condition survivors, would go on to capture the hearts of collectors and investors around the world. By the time 1982 arrived, most bicentennial quarters had been spent, lost, or scratched from everyday use. But a few coins, carefully stored or mistakenly left untouched, emerged with their mirror-like finish perfectly intact. These 1982 p condition bicentennial quarters became numismatic miracles, preserved relics that looked as if they had just left the mint. Their shine, edge, sharpness, and flawless details made them extremely desirable. Coins graded MS68 or higher in this category have been auctioned for staggering prices. While a regular quarter might buy a coffee, one of these pristine survivors could buy an entire house. The most valuable examples, however, are those with minting errors or rare metallic compositions. Some bicentennial quarters were mistakenly struck on silver planchets meant for other denominations. Others displayed faint double strikes, off-center designs, or missing mint marks, making each one completely unique. A bicentennial quarter in 1982 p condition with a double die obverse or struck on a silver planchet can command over $200,000 at auction. Collectors call these ghost treasures because they are so rare that even experts can go decades without seeing one in person. Beyond the numbers and prices, these coins hold emotional weight. The bicentennial quarter was more than just metal, it was the heartbeat of freedom cast into a coin. The 1982 p survivors represent that same strength and resilience, having lasted through years of circulation while still gleaming with untarnished beauty. When collectors hold one in their hands, they feel the story of America, the courage of 1776, the pride of independence, and the craftsmanship of a nation determined to leave a mark on history. Each coin is like a tiny monument, a frozen echo of the past that still shines today. In the world of numismatics, perfection is priceless. A 1982 p bicentennial quarter with full, crisp details and brilliant luster can outshine even gold in the eyes of collectors. The P mint mark, representing Philadelphia, is highly respected because that mint produced some of the cleanest, most balanced strikes of the series. Combine that with decades of preservation and a flawless surface, and you have a coin that commands jaw-dropping figures in auctions and private collections alike. It's not just the metal value, it's the rarity, the story, and the national pride that give this coin its power. Even today, these rare quarters continue to surface in unexpected places, in old coin jars, family inheritances, or tucked away in forgotten boxes. Many people pass them by without a second glance, unaware that their ordinary-looking coin could be worth a fortune. But experienced collectors know better. They look for that perfect shine, the faint P beneath, "In God We Trust," and the proof-like reflection that signals an untouched survivor. Each discovery reignites the thrill of the hunt, proving that fortune can come from the smallest and simplest treasures. So before you spend that shiny old quarter, take a moment to look closely. If it bears the dual date 1776 to 1976 and a P mint mark with mirror-like brilliance, it could be one of those incredibly rare 1982 condition survivors worth thousands, or even millions. The most valuable bicentennial quarters are living proof that history, when preserved with care, can turn into unimaginable wealth. In your hands could lie not just a piece of American history, but the key to your next great fortune.